Hi, welcome today for a mobility class for the shoulders. I've been asked quite a lot lately to offer some of these online, so here's my first foray into that space. We will need today a yoga strap. If you do not have one, you can use a belt or maybe a bathrobe. Belt can also be really good. 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can always use books or anything else of that nature that can give you height. Now books can be quite nice because they are different width, and then you can actually play around with finding your end range and be a little bit more specific when you do so. Now once you've found all of your things, we are going to get started in a kneeling seat using the strap. If you don't find it comfortable to sit on your knees, know that you can always use blocks underneath your hips, or you can come and find a cross-legged seat. Now as you hold this strap, have your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders with your palms facing down. And you're just going to circle your arms backwards and forwards again. You're flossing through your shoulders. Now the main thing to be mindful of here is to keep your elbows straight as you do this. If you find that to be challenging, you can take your hands a little bit wider. If you find it to be too easy, where it's just kind of not doing that much for your shoulders, you can take your hands more narrow. You want to find a position where it's just challenging for you to move through your shoulders, but you're still able to keep your elbows straight. And then once you've gone forwards and backwards a few times, you may want to move left to right, right to left. Of course, as you begin to move through some of these different spaces, be mindful of the metal part of your strap and that it doesn't smack you. You may even want to linger in a position if it feels good for you. Sometimes it can be really nice to get into the side body a little bit. Explore what's there. There may be different lines of tension that feel good to move through and to soften through. And once you're ready, set that off to the side. From here, take your hands a little bit wider, or take your hands wide, thumbs facing up. One thumb is going to turn forward, doesn't matter which one. The other one turns backwards in the opposite direction, and then turn them down towards the ground, and then switch. So both thumbs turn up, the opposite thumb forwards, other one backwards, and then towards the ground. So it's almost like you're wringing out a towel, and you're going to keep circling in opposite direction with your thumbs as you internally and externally rotate through your shoulders. Now this is really good because what you're doing here is called capsular cars. So in the capsule of the joint, you're finding rotation. So the head of the humerus, the upper arm bone, in the shoulder socket. You're allowing the shoulders to begin to hydrate and begin to lubricate. You may hear some cracking, some popping. Know that that's very normal. As long as you don't feel pain, you're all good. And then let that go. Now from here, come to lay on your belly and have your 2 blocks to the right side of you. As you come to lay on your belly, the left hand will be underneath your forehead. 1 block will be there for your elbow, which will be straight out to your side at the height of your shoulder. Elbow is bent at 90 degrees, and then your hand will be on top of the other block. From here, keep the right elbow grounded. Lift your hand as high as you can. Now if you notice that that's quite high, what you can do is play with the height. So maybe the middle height, maybe the upper height, and just notice what's there for you. Now the main measuring point should be the base of the wrist, not the fingers. So if your fingers are lifting, it doesn't matter. What you need to lift is the base of the wrist, right? So where the palm meets it. From here, just breathe into the right shoulder. Allow your chest to melt towards the earth. You may feel a bit of a stretch to the back of the right shoulder, You may also not. Especially if you manage to allow the right armpit to move towards the earth, you may begin to find more of that stretch sensation. And what we're going to do is what we call PAILs and rails, progressive angular isometric loading and regressive angular isometric loading. In essence, you're going to isometrically engage in opposite directions. So first you're going to push your hand down into the block as if your hand is trying to reach the earth for 10 seconds. And then you're going to try to lift your hand as high as you can for 10 seconds. As I count to 10, you're going to gradually increase the effort from 0% to around 60 to 70%. If you go over, it may cramp. You want to actually reach a space where you're almost cramping. That's how you know that you're actually making changes within your nervous system. And so from here, I'm going to count to 10. Begin to push the right hand into the block for 10, 9, 8, gradually pressing harder, 7, 6, driving your hand down, 5, 4, even harder, 3, 2, even harder, 1, you're around 70%, and then from here, keep your elbow down, lift your hand as high as you can for 10, 9, try to lift higher, 8, 7, 6, find the drive, 5, 4, keep your chest low, 3, 2, 1, set that down. Take a moment, let the right shoulder soften. If you cramp, you can always reach the right arm backwards beside your body to allow the shoulder to relax. And as the cramp leaves, you can always return. You can always press pause on the video as well if you need some extra time. And then we'll go straight into round 2. So begin to press the right hand down, gradually increasing the effort for 10, 9, 8, 7, pressing harder, 6, 5, 4, even harder, 3, 2, 1, then lift your hand as high as you can, again from the base of the wrist for 10, 9, 8, fight for height, 7, 6, 5, 4, lift higher, 3, 2, 1, let that go. Then we'll switch sides. So just take this whole construction over to the left side. You may need to check on the left side for height again, so play with the different heights. I know that for my left shoulder, I actually need a little bit less height. However, I've worked enough to let it be on the same height of the block. But in theory, it's harder to move through my left shoulder. You may actually need to play with different height. Again, that's why books can be so useful, because you can use different width to help you find the end range more, where you're just barely able to lift your hand. So the right hand is underneath your forehead, left elbow onto the left block, left hand on the front block. And just take a moment, breathe here. Let the left chest melt. You may notice as you begin to lift your hands and find the activation that the left shoulder blade wants to peel back. Keeping it on the ground, or as in melting towards the ground, is very, very useful. You're minimizing any compensations. Breathe into it for a moment, allow your shoulder to relax. And then we'll do 2 sets of activation. First pressing down, then lifting up, gradual increase of effort as I count to 10. Here we go. Begin to press your left hand down for 10, 9, 8, 7, gradually harder, 6, 5, even harder, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your elbow down, lift your hand, 10. Keep your chest down, 2, 8, 7, 6. Try to lift higher the entire time. 5, 4, 3. Find your effort. 2, 1. Let that go. Again, if you cramp, take a break. It's very normal when it comes to this type of work because you are working at your end range, which means it's hard for you to control it. If the muscle is cramping because of that fact, right? The nervous system is practically like, hey, I'm having a hard time moving through these spaces. And so it spasses out a little bit. You will notice that these types of cramps are very different to the ones that are from dehydration, for example. Those are way more lingering. For these ones, if you come out, you will kind of reset so you can come back in. Set number 2, here we go. Begin to press your left hand down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, harder, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lift your hand, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Let that go. Slide your hands underneath your chest, press back to a kind of child's pose like shape. This is where we're going to be working from next. Again, you can have the left hand underneath. I personally love to have a block underneath my forehead. Right arm is going to reach out in front of you with the thumb facing up. We're going to do a similar type of work here. And then we're going to try to lift your hand, see how high it goes. If it goes really high, take a block. Again, you can play with the height or your books, and then from here you're going to see if you can lift. However, as you're lifting, just be mindful that your chest doesn't roll open, right? The movement is happening from the right shoulder, not from the spine twisting. So find a moment here, take a few breaths. And we're going to have the 2 sets of activation. So you're going to push down for 10 seconds, lift up for 10 seconds. Once you're ready, 2 sets of activation. Here we go. We're going to push the right hand down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, harder, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift your hand as high as you can for 10, 9, 8, don't roll the chest open, 6, 5, 4, 3, fight for height, 2, 1, let that go, set that down, relax the shoulder. Round number 2, push down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And then switch sides. So you can be on your hand with your forehead or the block underneath. This time it's the left hand that's going to be on top. Again, feel free to play around with the height again. Your left shoulder may be different. Thumb is facing up. And just check from here. Can you just barely lift the hand? If you can, that is the spot to start from. Forehead is on the block. Let the left shoulder melt. The more that you can keep your elbows straight, the more useful this work will be. 2 sets of activation. Here we go. Put your left hand down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift, 10, 9, 8, keep your chest down, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1, release, relax. And we go again. Push that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go.
Great, sit up for a moment. Shake out the shoulders. They may feel quite good here. And then we'll finish with some targeted stretches. Having a block can be nice again here to support your cheek. Come to lay on your belly. Right arm reaches straight out to the side. You can have your elbow bent. That will target your chest more instead of the shoulder. Try to have your hand at the height of your shoulder. You're on the right cheek. Bend your left knee. Roll onto the right side of your body. Opening through the inside of the chest. If you want to gently press the right hand down, it can help you find more. And of course, you can always use the left hand here as well to modulate the weight. Rolling back to the center, reaching your left arm out to the side in line with your shoulder. You're on your left cheek this time, right hand underneath the right shoulder, and stepping the right foot behind you. Breathing across the chest. Option for a gentle activation, pushing your left hand down. Roll back to the center. Find a Sphinx pose. Forearms parallel on the ground. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Straighten your left arm so you're lifting the elbow. Right arm threads underneath. Right shoulder comes to the ground. Here the block can come in handy. Just let the right cheek rest on the block. Shoulder is really heavy. Now if you can roll the left shoulder down here, can help you find more sensation. Good. Gently press into the left elbow, slide the right out from underneath, and we'll switch sides. So lift the right elbow, thread your left arm underneath, place your left cheek down, and then as you allow the right chest to melt down, you'll feel more of the weight through the left shoulder, giving you a stretch sensation. You may also like creating more space between your shoulder and your ear. It's like you're pulling it back and down. Long and deep breaths, especially the exhales. And we're going to slide back up, right elbow underneath. So you can slide your left arm out from underneath you. Make your way back to a final seat. Short and sweet practice. Sit up tall, soften your eyes. Now, even though this isn't yoga, we still take a moment to acknowledge the efforts and all the body does for you. Finishing the practice with a clearing breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Long sigh out the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back with more mobility work. You may have to be patient, but it will come eventually. Thank you so much.